We have our GMA investigation into those gluten-free claims at restaurants. You know, you've seen more gluten-free options on the menu as the number of gluten-intolerant customers increases. But how trustworthy are those claims? We went undercover. Diane Macedo on the job.
Good morning, guys. So cases of celiac disease are actually on the rise, with 3 million Americans estimated to have that condition. Now, for those patients, gluten can cause serious intestinal damage. So how trustworthy is gluten-free food offered at restaurants? GMA went undercover with some concerning results.
Hannah Leibowitz was just 8 when she was diagnosed with celiac disease.
I was devastated, I think. It's a lifelong disease. It alters everything that you do.
An estimated 1 in 133 Americans, or almost 1% of the population, have the autoimmune disease triggered by gluten, a complex protein found in wheat, rye, and barley.
The immune system recognizes gluten as an invader, as something dangerous, and so it attacks it. In the process, the intestine is damaged.
How serious can it be for someone with celiac to eat gluten accidentally?
Being exposed to gluten in the long term has been linked to an increased risk of cancer, an increased risk of fractures, anemia, or osteoporosis.
To avoid that, Hannah carries food wherever she goes because she can't tell if outside food is safe.
We went to a pizza place. They said it was celiac safe, and they ended up throwing up, and it was awful.
Eating out and traveling are really the biggest challenges.
Thank you.
To see for ourselves, GMA went undercover in an experiment guided by experts at Columbia University's Celiac Disease Center and the blog Gluten-Free Watchdog.
We're about to go pick up the 6th pizza of the day.
We ordered pizzas at 15 different New York City restaurants and asked 2 questions. Are your pizzas, 1, completely gluten-free, and 2, safe for someone with celiac disease? To prevent cross-contamination, we keep the pizzas in their boxes and seal them in 2 Ziploc bags before sending them overnight to Bia Diagnostics Lab in Vermont. The lab cuts the pizzas in half, blends each part, then takes a sample to test for gluten. We showed the results to our expert.
The findings are concerning.
The Food and Drug Administration, which regulates gluten labeling on packaged food, defines gluten-free as containing less than 20 parts per million. 2 of the 15 pizzas came in with more than 20 parts per million, above the standard to be considered gluten-free.
What might happen to someone who has celiac and ate those pizzas?
Someone with celiac disease might not feel anything, but if they were exposed to that and other similar gluten-contaminated foods throughout the day and had this fairly regularly, then they would have intestinal damage, including even cancer risk.
4 other pizzas had more than 5 parts per million, the limit of quantifiable detection, but were below the gluten-free threshold. We told the restaurants which tested positive for gluten about our findings. One said they would not recommend their pizza for celiac patients, despite our producers being told it was safe. Most of them thanked us for letting them know, said they have processes in place, and would talk to their staff to prevent contamination.
This is a hard disease to live with. If we knew that we could rely on the posted statements about gluten, it would be really helpful.
Now, there are portable gluten testers out there, which experts tell us have potential, but also have limitations. For now, they advise talking to the restaurant before you go, and then again when you get there. And they say be particularly careful with pizza and pasta.
Could never be too safe.
Exactly.
All right, Diane, thanks so much.